Hey friends, Kelli here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you a beautiful vista. First, I am at the lake, at the cabin, and last year I shared a little view of a travel tote that I carry with me for vacations, and I'm back with another version of that. So here is my tote. I'll be sure to link the other video for you here, right up in the top corner, and then also in the description. But what I want to show you today is the tote that I have packed for a specific project. So this is the project I'm working on. Now I do have to apologize. I'm outside, there's wind, there's kids in the background. You never know what you'll hear in the North Woods of Minnesota. So hopefully the quality of this is good. And also I'm filming it by just simply holding my phone. So I apologize if it gets a little jittery, but we'll do our best here. So this is the project that I am working on. It's a little tag flip, and this is heavily inspired by Hello Jillsky. So Jill from, she does a lot for Illustrated Faith. She has her own channel. I'll be sure to link all of that below. But this is inspired by the devotional that Shauna Noel did for Illustrated Faith. And then I had seen Jill put together this tag flip kit and book, and I just loved it so much. I actually realized going back to this that I heavily scrap lifted maybe one or two of her tags. I didn't do that intentionally, but I think I just had it in my head, and then it just kind of put itself onto my paper. So I think it's very important to give credit where credit is due. So that's some credit there for you. And like I said, I will link her tutorial videos and her walkthroughs and everything below, because it's definitely worth a watch. She's just so inspiring. Okay, so here's my little tag flip. So I did some of this on a previous little getaway, and I had this tote with me, and so I'm working with limited supplies and limited tools. I would love to be adding some sewing and some typing and all those things to this. Jill does that in hers, and I think that was one of the things I loved so much, but I don't want to carry that with me. So here's what I have so far. It's this weeds and wildflowers. So this front page here, I took and used some watercolor crayons. I'll show those to you in a bit here. And I colored underneath then a clear sticker. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, you can kind of see on the edge here. So that was just a clear sticker that I had printed black and white, and then I put it over the watercolor. So that was a really fun little technique and an easy thing to be able to bring in a tote like this. So here's one of my heavily scrap lifted pieces from Jill, which I didn't realize I'd done until I saw it again in one of her videos, and I went, oh. So this premise of these color blocks and the stamps was definitely something I scrap lifted from her. But my purpose for this book was to really be getting out in nature this summer, which, as you can see, I'm currently surrounded by. And I wanted to just record those quiet moments I have with God when I'm on a hike or just walking through the park or just sitting and admiring the creation that he has given us. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to note the things I'm seeing, hearing, and smelling. So I'll give you a little quick flip through, and then I'll dive into what's in my tote here. So I've got some scripture. I'll try to do a little more above here. And I've written out some scripture. I've got some little tags and little bits here. I love this. I think, again, this was something that I saw Jill do, and I thought, well, that's really fun. So I tried to put different words here, like observed, notice, connect, unexpected, silent, walk, I think is what that was going to say. But I ran out of room, and I just went with it. So again, I'm just trying to note things that I see, things that I hear, and things that I smell, because for me, those are really big senses, especially when I'm out enjoying God's beautiful creation. So here I just noted that I had seen a waterfall, and I got this really cool stamp, which I'll show you guys, from Studio Calico. And again, I'm just using clear stickers and different pieces of little ephemera and just kind of journaling. And then I have created this little tag that has all of my watercolor crayons, and it's really just this color scheme I'm working from. So with that, let me dive into this kit and show you how I put this together and what I put in here. So there's the project. Okay, so the first thing I have here is the top tray of this case. So I've showed this case before, and I'll link you to the video. I talked about it before, so you can get all of the resources, but this is a really handy case I got from Michael's. So in the top here, I'm gonna try to do this so that you can kind of see what I have here. I just keep all my tools. So for traveling, for something like this, I did bring my Instax printer, and I have a little piece of felt that I usually use for stamping. I'll put that under my stamp. Hole punch, of course, need that for a tag. I do have some small little ink blocks. I love these for traveling. Actually, this is what I primarily use because I'm not stamping huge images. I'm not a huge card maker or big 12 by 12 scrapbooker. I'm a small kind of micro stamper, scrapbooker, whatever you want to call it. So these are really awesome. This is actually, I picked these 4 colors. It came in this little case from the stamp market, and I love just having this, my favorite colors. I also have some of these little, what are they called? Dewdrop Versa Magic something or others. I have a couple of those, and then I have a tiny little VersaFine little black ink. So those are my inks that I bring with me. Of course, I have some scissors. I have this little hole reinforcer punch, probably unnecessary for this kit, but I had the room, so I threw it in there. I have a date stamp, my adhesive, a backup, this fun blue pen, a water brush that I'll use for my watercolor crayons rather. Tiny attacher is a must. And then here I have just a simple push pin. I have some embroidery thread that I might have in this kit, and so I can do maybe some hand embroidery, which actually I did on one of the tags. Let me go back and look here. I do believe it's on this one here. Boy, I'll tell you, doing this one-handed is really difficult. Yeah, so here you can see I just did some hand stitching. So at least I'm bringing in that texture that I wanted. Okay, so that's what's in the top tray here. Let me get this set back. Okay, so let me dive into what I have inside. So kind of fits in with more of my tools. I have a little box here that I keep my stamp chamois in. I had the extra space, so I just threw that in. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't include this if I was tight on space. But because there was room, I went ahead and threw it in. I have stamps. So let me go back to my other stamps here real quick. So you saw on the top of the tray, I have a stamp block. I actually have another one here. So I have 2 sizes. Again, that's because I had the space. I have a couple of stamp sets that I had pulled out, and these were from Citrus Twist kits. So I like these because they really had more like field notes, exploration, great outdoors, just different kind of words and sentiments that go along with the theme of my little nature tag flip. So I have that one. I grabbed this one as well, just because, again, I thought the words might kind of fit into what I'm trying to do here. So I have this little plastic envelope that I got from scrapbook.com. I got a couple of different sizes, and these are really awesome. Again, I apologize, this is one-handed here. So what I have in here are my own little curated stamp sets. I've gone through and pulled out stamps from other kits that I really love, especially these tiny little ones. Stars, hearts, little arrows, little call outs. And then this is a little curated kit I made from some stamp sets. And here, this was one of my first ones I put together. I had StazOn. I'd use StazOn to stamp onto the transparency, which isn't perfect. So then I had stamped onto a white piece of paper and taped it to the back, which I've yet to do for this other little kit. And then what I do is I just take 2 pieces of transparency and I use some clear packing tape. Ah, my finger stuck. Okay. I use clear packing tape to just connect the 2 pieces at the top. So like here you can see there's just a piece of clear packing tape. I can get this open one-handed. You can see that's how I'm keeping this, is like its own little folder. So I have those little stamp sets in here. I use those a lot for my Bible journaling, my micro Bible journaling and things like that. So these are really handy to just grab and go. I have my ring of washi. I know I have shared this in the past, so if I have a video about that, I might try to connect that for you guys or link that. But these are just some of my favorite washis. I put on these plastic embroidery thread bobbin things, and then have on a little ring. come back to that. Okay, so my stamps are upside down here. Let's get those righted. So here are the stamp sets that I have with me. Again, this is a Studio Calico. It's the, I think it's called Happy Trails or Trail Magic. It's one of those two. I don't see it on there, but I'll try to link this if this is still available. But I thought this was a really fun set that would be good for, it's pretty versatile. I'm a camper, hiking, and as you can see, I'm even using this to kind of do some Bible journaling. I have some alphas. This is Craft Social Alpha. So I will, again, make sure to link all of these, but this is my own alpha that I have created. So I bring that one. I've got this alpha, which I think I got in one of Illustrated Faith's kits. So this is another fun alpha. I love these alphas with an outline. And then I also have in here my Bible books. My Books of the Bible nerd set. Bible book nerd set. It's my own set, and yet I butcher the name every time. Oh, well. So I have this set, and then I have another little set behind it that's just extra numbers because, unfortunately, I have lost the 1 and the 3. They did fall off. So a tip, if you have this set, what I've done is I actually cut the top apart, and then I took some packing tape and I taped the stamps shut from the bottom so that the numbers aren't likely to fall out. So note to self, that is a great way if you have any stamps on an edge that keep kind of falling out, is to use some packing tape to kind of make a little folder there. And when I redesign this stamp for a second release, I'm going to put those numbers either in the middle or at the top so that they're less likely to fall out. So that was a lesson learned. Okay. Next, I have just some extra tags. Now, these are tags that I cut out of a heavy white cardstock on my own with a die that I have. So I had pre-cut a bunch of these, so I have a stack of those. I have another one of those little clear plastic envelopes that has some bits that I had cut out, some ephemera from the Reset Girl New Chapter collection. So that's all what's in here. I just grabbed that because I thought that some of the colors would work, and it's some of it is faith-based, so I thought that would be really cool to have. I have a notebook that I will keep with me, that I will make notes about my walk and what I see, just so that I have something to keep that in. Or otherwise I use notes on my phone a lot too. And then I have printed out just a rough copy of the Weeds and Wildflowers devotional. So I have that here to work from if I so choose. Here's another one of those scrapbook.com envelopes that I have put a bunch of the Weeds and Wildflowers and other coordinating sets, the ephemera that I have printed and cut out with my silhouette. So this whole little pocket here is full of, sorry, this is so hard to do one-handed. So you could kind of see that there's a lot of little just pieces. There's butterflies and flowers. And there's a few other things I've pulled out of other kits that match the color scheme. So I know that I've pulled some stuff from maybe an old Felicity Jane kit. Anything that really kind of has these more muted, almost fall colors, which for May and June was kind of weird to pull from, but I really love it because these are some of my favorite colors outside of pink and teal and coral. So to be able to use those and not feel like it has to be just for documenting fall has been kind of fun. This is the Willow collection, the One Canoe 2. I had gotten this from, I think, Peachy Cheap. So I just threw that in because, again, butterflies and just the botanical look, just kind of the wildflower look. I thought that this would be maybe a few things I could pull out. There's some tags, things like that. I also threw in just bits I have left over from the Maggie Holmes Flourish collection. So I have just a whole little glassy package of that. And I believe there's another package here that's, again, just a lot of leftover bits from that. So I didn't really go through and pull anything that doesn't fit out. I just threw the whole thing in, figuring there's probably enough stuff in here, like that butterfly vellum piece there. I know I could probably use that. Then I went in and I cut out a few pieces from the Crate Paper Magical Forest, I think it's called. So there's definitely a lot of pieces in there that made sense. There's like a moth, there's some flowers, there was even a mushroom, which I always thought, when am I ever going to use a mushroom? And now I realized I have an opportunity to use a mushroom. And just a few more pieces because, again, it kind of matched the color scheme. More flourish. I guess I really have a lot of that stuff, so I threw a lot in. Here's a random tag. And then I have a little bit of paper, but not much because I'm really just kind of working on the tags themselves. But I threw in this piece because I kind of liked this look, the colors. I'll come back to that. Again, a few more pieces. This is, I believe, from maybe a Maggie Holmes collection of some sort. A friend gave me these. She'd given me a bunch of little pieces from her own kit and made me a little stash kit. So this was in there, and they're puffy stickers, and I don't know, I'm hoarding them and I gotta use them. So gotta get those used up. And then these are pieces from one of the Heidi Swap chapters, something or other. I can't think of what it's called. I'll try to look it up and link it if possible. And then I just have some other random pieces of papers that I had in my stash that kind of fit. So let's get those out of the way. I have some alpha stickers. I just kind of grabbed a few and figured if I could use them, I would. Maybe more for the numbers. I have some stickers from the Heritage collection from Maggie Holmes, because again, kind of really liked the colors and the botanical look. Some vintage tape from the sticker truck from First Love Club. This is so cool. The vintage tape, it's another one thing that I'm going to probably hoard, but I'm going to try not to. But they have, if you go to the firstloveclub.com, they have a sticker truck. It's like the ice cream truck. They only come along every so often, and they have all these really awesome stickers, especially if you're a Bible journaler or doing any sort of faith project. They're really awesome. So go to the First Love Club and check that out. I'll also link that below. Again, some more paper. I'm going to talk about these here in a minute. I've got some embroidery threads, and this is like a wax twine. And then I have some clear stickers that I had printed. These I thought would be really great for watercoloring under and sticking over. I was thrilled that that worked out. And again, some more clear sticker paper here. What I love about this sticker paper is that I can actually stamp on it and then make my own sticker with the scraps. So I will link what sticker paper I use. I have really good luck with it. And then I just printed out a little bit from the Magical Forest crepe paper, just so I have a little extra paper to work from and incorporate with those pieces. And of course, candy. There's always something sweet at the bottom of this, so I have candy. So let me put this back, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit about those crayons that I use. Okay, finally I have this little pouch of these crayons, these watercolor crayons. These are old. They're from Stampin' Up. I bought this probably when I first started doing crafting and card making, so I'm thinking probably in 2000, 2001, something like that. And I hardly ever have used them, but now I've found a really great use. So I just stuck them in this little pocket, but I'm sure there are other products out there like this. I don't know if Stampin' Up is actually even a company anymore. I'm going to say probably. That's just, I don't really go there anymore, but I'm sure there is something else like this. So this is a great example of take a few things out of your stash if you're making a kit like this. Even if it's just watercolors, and if you have like a set where you can pop out the little ovals or the little squares or whatever and make your own palette. I know there's all that kind of stuff. I'm such a newbie with mixed media. I don't dabble in it too often, so I know there's a billion things out there that would work. But just to keep in mind, thinking like you don't have to bring the whole thing. You could probably make it work with something smaller. So that is my little crafty tote for a project specific to go travel. So again, as I stated, I am up in the North Woods at the lake, and wanted to be able to still do some crafting. So this is one way that I'm able to do that. So this is where I'm at, hanging out with some friends, just spending time out in God's beautiful creations. So friends, I hope that this video was helpful to you and you learned something new or sparked some ideas. If you like this video, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I know right now there's not a lot coming out for content, but I promise that's gonna change. Life just shifted a bit again, so I have more time to create and I miss it so much. So please, if you liked this video or any of my other videos, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and drop me a comment that lets me know what you found to be useful, or if there's anything else that I could be doing, just let me know. I'd love talking to the community. So and then finally, just have a wonderful time, have a wonderful day, be outside, be creative, be in God's creation, be blessed, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.